How's it going, everybody? It's Kyril back with another video, another long form video. I don't know if you guys have seen, but I've been making a lot of shorts lately. I've been picking up quite a bit of games. Final Fantasy Tactics. Got my first Nintendo Switch 2 game ever. My wife did, also OG right here. My wife did surprise me with a Nintendo Switch 2 console. And it was awesome. And we're going to talk about that today and why that's special, right? I don't know what the title of the video is, but something along the lines of, are games good or bad? Or is it just right place, right time? I think games are a form of art, but also a time capsule. And what do I mean by games are a time capsule? Well, first I'd like to say video games are a unique form of art, right? And like any art, the way we experience them changes depending on where we are in life. They're not just entertainment, they're time capsules that capture who we are when we first played them. So look, if you look at a piece of art, no matter what that is, depending on where you are in life, how old you are, what sort of things you're going through, you're going to look at that piece of art differently than if you looked at it at a different time period, right? And the same thing could be said with video games because you are experiencing that. It is a unique form of art. You are involved in this art piece. And how you perceive, how you make decisions is going to be different depending on where you are in life at that very moment. Let's go back to middle school, grade school here. When you were in science class, you remember how in different science experiments there might be a control variable, something that stays the same, and then basically what you can do with the other variables is change them and see how the outcome changes, right? So if you have something that stays the same, it allows you to change that other thing, and then in turn see how that the outcome changes in the end. If the video game that you're playing is the constant, the control variable, then you are the one who's changing, right? If in the end you used to think, hey, this video game isn't hitting the same anymore. Video games are different now. Okay, let's go back to a video game that you played when you were younger. That you say that video games cannot replicate this game now, right? You go back and play. It's not going to be the same. It's not your first time experiencing it. You are not the same person as you were back then. So if the video game hasn't changed, the console, the hardware hasn't changed, and the outcome is different, you're no longer having fun, then something else must have changed, right? And that variable is you. You have changed. And it's not so much that this is a bad thing, it's just life, it's just what happens. We experience things differently. And maybe this game, right, this piece of art, you would have perceived it differently. Maybe it would have been better off. This is why I say, right, maybe you should, if you're not having fun with the game, and you think you might in the future, put it down for a little bit. Maybe right now in life, this is not the era, this is not the time for that game, right? Right now I've been playing a lot of Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. Stuff that I could pick up and put down with ease. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy Tactics, and the battles, the skirmishes there are so simple. They're so quick. But you gotta think, you gotta be quick to think, like, how am I gonna approach this battle? Because the enemies have like these mind flayers, right? That could potentially put you to sleep, or there's a lot of thieves on the other team that could charm you, and so that you start fighting your own team. You have to be able to counteract. But it's so fun. But the battles are quick. It's not like we're playing Total War, Warhammer, right? Where the battles will last 30, 40 minutes. I'm simply saying that you have changed, and while this may not be a bad thing, we can use this to our advantage, right? We don't have to be super pessimistic and think, well, video games just don't hit the same anymore. Maybe you're just not in the position in life right now to approach, let's say, like a game like God of War or The Last of Us. A super story intensive games. Like, if you don't have that much time and you're like, man, video games don't feel gamey anymore, maybe pick up a Nintendo Switch, or if you already have one, pick up a different game like Super Mario Odyssey. If you have a Nintendo Switch 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, right? Those types of games are super gamey, stuff that you can pick up and put down so quickly. Maybe you are in the mood for a long story adventure, and if you have a Nintendo Switch, maybe you want to play, Tears of the Kingdom, maybe Breath of the Wild. Maybe this, I didn't realize how story intensive this one is, but Demon X Machina. There is so much to do in this game, and it's awesome. But I mean, like, I'm not really at the point right now where I'm really comfortable into stopping what I'm doing and sinking my teeth into a game like that. So I'm gonna continue to do what's fun right now. And not only is it just the games, but it might be your lifestyle. So right now, like I said, I've been playing the Nintendo Switch so much. And this is another variable in and of itself, because for me, the Nintendo Switch has been this lifeline to gaming on the move, right? Whether I was traveling or waiting somewhere or winding down at night, it's there for me. It's not like I have to sit at a desk, and boot up my designated console. And even worse, if you have a PC that might have to run updates, or you have to, run the Steam launcher, or maybe you have to, to me, look, I'm a console guy because I like to just get in there and just play the dang thing, right? And PS5 does that so well. But you know what does that even better? A Switch, because you don't have to sit down at the desk where your PlayStation might be. You could play your Switch wherever you are. And this is not a promotion. This is not I'm not trying to incentivize you to get a Nintendo Switch, but I'm just trying to tell you how this has changed my life and how I've been playing games lately. I'd also like to touch back on what I said earlier about the Nintendo Switch 2 and how my wife gave it to me as a gift. It got even better. Like, I was already having a blast with the Nintendo Switch, and I've been playing it wherever I was, whenever I could, on my lunch breaks, or before, like I said, before bed, or just little pockets of time throughout the day. When my wife surprised me with the brand new Nintendo Switch 2, the Pokemon ZA edition too, so that was cool because I wanted to play the new Pokemon. It's not just a hardware upgrade, it's a core memory now. I am emotionally attached to this console. Every time I pick it up, I think of how my wife surprised me with this thing, right? And I haven't really been surprised like that or gotten a gift that I was like, whoa, what the, in a while. So it makes me just feel that much more emotionally attached to that because I keep going back to that memory in my mind. With that, it redefined what gaming is to me. Every time I pick it up, it reminds me that games aren't just about pixels and mechanics. They're about people, moments, and meaning. So maybe the beauty of games is that they evolve with us. The art may stay the same, yes, but our perspective shifts. Every replay, every console, every chapter in life changes how we see it. And that's what makes gaming so powerful. It grows alongside us. The game itself didn't change. I did. We did. And maybe that's the point. So thank you guys for coming along for this video today. Hope you enjoyed. And if you do, leave a like, maybe consider subscribing. Check out my shorts too. They're pretty cool. I've been starting to learn how to edit and stuff like that recently. So let me know how I'm doing there. And yeah, any suggestions for games or some kind of, I'm really looking into like Switch games, like Pizza Tower and some like horror games as well. I really haven't played too many horror games, but there's this one game, I forgot what it's called, but on the Switch that I really wanted to get, but it looks super spooky and I get freaked out pretty easily. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.